What's up, everybody? Welcome to Tristan's Shop Talk. This is episode number 17, August 22nd, 2024. Yes, you've made it. Yes, thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for tuning in. I've been a little busy, been here, been there, been in Mexico, barely made it back. Within means, made it back safely. Definitely a different place. Definitely got some scuba diving done. It was exciting. Other than that, what I can say is definitely a lot of things going on from the DNC happening in Chicago right now with Kamala Harris and Tim Walz going for president and vice president, which Kamala Harris is already vice president, and then now there's going to be a new vice president if that does happen. But for starters, I wanted to start off with just a little international news. If nobody knows, but international news that is going on right now. And what I wanted to bring up was just about, if nobody knew, Russia has had to fight the drones from Ukraine. So the drones, biggest drone attack ever to hit a capital by drones, which was about 45 drones apparently coming from Ukraine. Obviously, I'm very curious what type of drones these were and who supplied the drones, which I'm guessing more than likely the U.S. did supply the drones to the Ukrainians, and the Ukrainians obviously are using these drones to send over to Russia and attack their capital. Playing with fire, big fire. But let me let y'all listen to this.
Military offensive across the border with one of its biggest drone attacks of the war so far. Russia's defense ministry says its forces shot down all 45 drones, including 11 that were aimed at targets in Moscow. So far, Ukraine has not confirmed the attacks. This morning, Ukrainian forces continue to push into Russia's Kerch region, while Russian forces are gaining ground in Ukraine's Donbas region. Russia.
All right, everybody. So with these drones being sent over to Ukraine and help them fight the war, obviously they're being used towards Russia, and Russia's going to look at it one way, and the Russia's going to look at it one way, as in we are the ones that are supplying Ukrainians with these weapons that are now falling into their capital. So I'd like, my whole point of view on that is just the fact that, it's playing with fire, and that occurring. I mean, you just don't know what Putin has in store. I know he doesn't let things like that slide just based on his past reactions to other things that have occurred in his region. Um, but that being said, kind of crazy that over 45 drones were sent over to the capital and they were taken out. Excuse my dog. My dog's in the back. So, on to the next one. Kind of just like I said, I'm just kind of barely getting back in the swing of things. I am going to have another episode coming up this weekend, and this is going to be with the fighter that is going to be competing in Fury fighting competition coming up soon on September 13th. I kind of just wanted to be a surprise of the fighter that is definitely that I am interviewing this weekend. I'm looking forward to it. Kind of just see what's going on. What actually got him to the point of doing what he's doing, which is most of my questions when it comes to the fighters that come in and that I interview. But yeah, looking forward to that fighter. It might be posted live. It depends if I'm feeling up to it. We do it live. If we do it live, I'm looking forward to that because then it'll be posted on Saturday. If not at the time and Saturday. So, like I said, he's a fighter. He's fighting in Fury fighting competition coming September 13th. Hoping that he definitely goes in there and takes the fighter out. I didn't want to say who he's going against just yet because I just kind of want to leave it as a surprise for myself and also for the viewers. But I'm very well looking forward to this interview coming up. So the interview is going to be coming up Saturday. Please stay tuned. If you can, please subscribe to my channel and also like. I'm looking forward to speaking with him, and I'm looking forward to this Saturday. On the next, if nobody else is known, also Boeing Starliner is stuck in outer space still. If nobody knows, yes, Boeing Starliner is stuck in outer space. I mean, what are you going to do? You know, all I can say is that with this Starliner being um stuck in outer space, I would say it's pretty sad the fact that these two astronauts definitely part of this Boeing entourage, which I mean, Boeing, in the highlight of it, Boeing was already going through its changes already. Boeing was already being questioned by the Senate committee about all these doors falling off, all these parts falling off. Yet again, the Boeing company thought it would be still a good idea to send the Starliner up, knowing that the Starliner still had some issues going on, knowing that the fact that these two astronauts are only supposed to be up there for only a few days and then come right back. But yet again, that's not what's happening. turns out that these Boeing Star that well, it turns out that the two astronauts are still stuck up there and not able to come back. With that being said, Elon Musk has offered his spaceship to go up and get and join and try to get these so they're also trying to get they're trying to get these astronauts. So Elon Musk, let me back up. I was watching the comments. So Elon Musk has offered his spaceship to go and get these two astronauts, but in light of that, apparently there's some suits that don't match up. So there has to be some extra where I guess pretty much they'll come and get two astronauts and then two will go back and then two will have to stay. Something crazy like that. But from what I know, there's no the spaceships aren't compatible with each other. The Boeing Starliner is definitely stuck to the International Space Station as we speak. It is still docked. That being said, we're still up in the air deciding whether or not they are going to come back. So it's kind of sad. I mean, I feel like, I mean, what are you going to do? I mean, what could you do besides just sit there and look in outer space? Um, I'm trying to invite a friend on right now. So yeah, um, I think it's kind of trippy the fact that this spaceship is still stuck out there. Of all companies that built the spaceship, has to have been Boeing. Boeing was already having issues already with their airplanes and their making of the airplanes, and possibly there was a lot of things going on with the company, as in low morale, not enough pay raises, so forth. So I don't know. Like I said, I just think it's very interesting that there's a spaceship stuck out in outer space. If you want to put it down, I mean, the way I'm putting it. Um, but yeah, so that's what kind of separates the fact of Boeing and other spaceship makers. I don't think any of the other spaceship makers have come across this issue or anything similar along the lines of getting their astronauts stuck in outer space at the International Space Station. So I really hope that these astronauts do make it back. I really hope that they don't, get stuck up there. These are actually the two astronauts here. Um, like I said, it just trips me out because it's like, what else you gonna do? There's only so much you can do in outer space for the time being. I mean, obviously you can read, you can maybe write, do some things like that, but you're still in outer space. Still tripping me out. So, I don't know. I mean, I'm down for taking flights to Mexico, quick flights here and there on Boeings, but like, I don't know. These astronauts definitely had some, I guess, dedication to the company that was pretty much making the spaceship. So, that being said, yeah. Actually, I'm not sure how much food they have. Well, I mean, they're in the National Space Station, so I mean, they definitely have supplies to carry them over. I just know they didn't plan on being up there that long. I know that much. Um, so hopefully, maybe Elon can pull it off some way or another. Who knows? Um, what I think was also kind of crazy that recently happened was this whole Matthew Perry situation with. So there's this big thing going on right now with a lot of people being charged with his death. So obviously, Matthew Perry is
While their investigation is
the one who obviously was on the show Friends, and then from Friends he retired, did a few movies, if that, and obviously he continued his drug problem. Um, they found him passed, like he passed in his hot tub. So now they're following. So now the DA is following up with charges against, obviously for the family, obviously seeking fault from the doctors and the people that were surrounded around him around his time of his death. Now, the reason I'm bringing this up, which is I think is just very strange, is the fact that um, how I mean this gentleman, I mean Matthew Perry definitely. He's not here, which is very sad. Don't get me wrong, that is very sad. Obviously, the link was ketamine. He was doing quite a bit of ketamine, and obviously, if you do overdo, obviously, what do you think is gonna happen? I see. My only thing that I'm bringing up is the fact that when these stars get to where they're at, and this gentleman's been in business all my life. Matthew Perry's he's been an actor in the business since I was a little kid. I remember movies when I was younger, just seeing him here and there. So he's been in the business for a while. That being said, this is not his first go around with dealing with drugs, and also people that were associated with him. Also his family. Also, I would say people that are very close to him. With the DA now going after people that are accused of pretty much being involved with his death. Okay, I'm not saying they're not 100% or not that close to near to be at fault, but yet again, I feel Matthew Perry was a grown man. Matthew Perry knew what he was doing. Matthew Perry had a lot of money, and yet again, a lot of people cannot say no to money, and obviously, people, if they're offered a lot of money, obviously they're going to take the money, especially dealing if they're dealing with things like that. Like I said, the only thing I'm kind of gets me out of the fact is that Matthew Perry obviously is not here to claim responsibility of why he's not here. But yet again, a lot of these people are being accused for for things that this gentleman wanted, and this gentleman I'm sure was pretty well off, and with him being well off, he followed up. He had a constant person that did what he did and supplied him with what he needed to be supplied with. Um, but 5 people charged. Uh, I think it's pretty crazy. It's from the doctor to Queen Ketamine. Queen Ketamine was actually one of the. Here, I'll bring it up. Oh, Ketamine Queen. Ketamine Queen is it? So Ketamine Queen. Who's the other one? So the doctor also, this is the doctor that's being charged as well. But I mean, how much does this go on in California? I mean, come on now. In California, I'm sure it happens every day where these the only reason and then that's another thing I wanted to bring up. But the only thing is that they're making a big stink about this is because Matthew Perry's famous. I mean, how many other addicts just like Matthew Perry that aren't famous but yet pass because of the same reasons of the people that are around him? How often does that happen? I'm sure it happens quite a bit. With that happening, I mean, I'm sure a lot of people aren't, the DA is possibly not going out for people who contributed to other people's deaths based on the drugs that they were using. So that's what I was saying. I mean, I'm just pointing out the fact. Yeah, it's a sad story. It's a sad story with Matthew Perry. Don't get me wrong; he was a funny actor. He's a very good actor. I thought some of his movies were very good, but I believe a lot of the responsibility needs to still fall back to Matthew Perry. Um, and I'm gonna watch this closely and see how far this goes. But I do know that they did charge the female as of today, who she's known as the ketamine queen, um, which is pretty crazy. So and then the other side of it, obviously, you know, uh, maybe they should have made a show about the real friends that he had, which is these drug friends that he had, instead of the friends that were all full of it on that show. So, I mean, I guess that I'm only making the joke of the fact of all these people that are apparently his friends and really weren't his friends. Um, Pretty sad case. What can I do, besides just critique the fact that shouldn't have happened, but it did happen. So on to the next. Another thing I thought was pretty strange was the Mike Lynch death. This is Mike Lynch. Mike Lynch was a billionaire on a yacht that he was actually he was in Italy, and very sad. But well, there's video of the storm. So he was a big tech guy. He was brought up on charges of possibly working numbers with the company. Survived through that ordeal, made it out with that ordeal. Still was able to keep. I just know the guy was made with a lot of money, and he had a lot of charges brought up on him. My Mr. Lynch. But what was so strange about the whole death of Mr. Lynch was that the yacht that he was on was hit by a storm. Um, this storm was hit. Well, the yacht was on the side of was on the coast of Italy, and as this storm came in, apparently the storm was so bad that it barely tipped the ship over to the side, and the ship sunk over. He had his family members in there. I do know that his wife did survive. I'm not sure if his daughter did not survive, and he did not survive. I believe yesterday they did do a dive and they found him and his daughter in the cabin of the yacht, which is very sad. But I would like what just kind of brought me with the fact was just the like it. I mean, you would think a big yacht like that would be able to at least handle. I mean, I can understand if the yacht was all in the middle of the sea or in the middle of the bay, which is way out. But obviously, this yacht was pretty close by to the, within the bay. It was close to the shore, and somehow this storm tipped it over, and then it went under. Very sad case. What I just thought was kind of strange was that, he had just recently, beat these charges that were against him, got from under it, and regular day out on his yacht, and the yacht didn't make it So sad day for Mr. Lynch and his family. Prayers to the family. I just thought it was kind of interesting the fact that a yacht that big would just sink, and it's kind of mysterious. But not coming across any theories or anything like that. I'm just coming up with the fact that kind of shocking that a big billionaire like that with a massive yacht, hopefully a good crew. I just don't know how these situations occur. It just amazes me. You would think that, with I hate to say with that amount of money, you would think that he would have some type of good crew to. I mean, this was not. It wasn't like they went through a hurricane or anything. It was just some really bad thunderstorms that hit the coast around that time, and the ship did not, you know, hold up. But here's a little part of the video of them talking about him. See, that's what I was saying. It just happened in June, so he was just acquitted. Crazy, crazy, crazy. And what was I gonna go over? The one more other thing was I did the Matthew Perry Golden Starliner. Pretty much it for right now for today. I'm sorry, everybody, but I definitely went to Mexico, Cancun. It was exciting. I was able to go scuba diving. I was able to do some exploring around the city or town of Cancun. Cancun's the most beautiful place that I've seen compared to Thailand. Thailand and Cancun now I can say are neck and neck when it comes to water quality. I don't even know how to bring it or how to compare the two, as in, I mean, obviously cultures are totally different, two totally different cultures. But when it comes to beaches, Mexico has, oh man, Mexico is just so beautiful. Um, the scuba diving, the snorkeling, the water, seeing the reefs down there. I'm still in awe. I probably didn't have a good quality show this show because I'm still in awe. I'm still in Cancun right now. I'm actually still in Mexico. My mind is still in Mexico. I would still want to go back to Mexico and experience more of Mexico. I've thought about going to Cozumel and possibly some other locations around that area, Playa del Carmen. My idea is just to go do more scuba diving. Now my scuba diving thing is about to be certified, and man, like I had just the last time I had been to such a nice beach was years ago. That was like back in '06 or '07 when I was in Thailand. I think it was '06. I'm sorry. And from then to now, I've seen a few nice beaches here and there. I've been to a few, but nothing compared to Cancun, Mexico. Cancun, Mexico has to be definitely a beautiful beach. It just really trips me out on how they keep that beach very beautiful. I've been to Cabo, Mexico. No comparison. No comparison at all. I believe Cabo is nice because it's a West Coast beach, and of course, you have the Pacific on that side. But when you come to you know, like around that Yucatan Peninsula, like I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's just I don't know, but it's just the water is clear. Um, if you find the right hotel, you can get a very nice beach with great sand on the ground, no seaweed, no nothing. You walk straight out to the water at the bay. You walk a little farther, you see some reefs, gorgeous beaches, gorgeous. So definitely looking forward to hopefully going back to Mexico pretty soon. Get some more dives under my belt. Um, yeah. So I mean that was another thing why I had going back to the Mr. Lynch situation, which I thought was pretty crazy, is that they actually had to send divers down there to go do the rescue, which is over like 164 feet, which is pretty deep when you think about it to scuba diving. Just for I don't have I don't I didn't I'm still waiting on my video Um, but I can show you something on okay. Yeah. So this is pretty much what I got to see in Cancun on the wrong one. All right. All right. Yeah, here we go. So this is pretty much scuba diving in Cancun, and it's not much off. That's it right there. Now, apparently, yeah, there's wrecks out there. And Cancun, there is where you can go and you can see this car. I don't know exactly where in the bay it's at, but yeah, this is pretty much what it looks like when you're scuba diving. Um, I was able to learn how to do different, you know, little bitty scenarios depending on what's happening. Um, Man, like I said, overall, it was pretty cool. Just the scuba diving in the bay of outside of Cancun, it was just awesome. It was just awesome. But yeah, this is pretty much similar. The only thing I didn't get to see was this, which I thought was pretty of a trip. They got actually a VW down there. Um, Reefs are just like that. You're right. Scuba diving, that I did not see. I'm not sure where that is at. I know that, during certain spots, some of the scuba divers that I did dive with, they do night diving and they do other types of diving, which I thought was pretty crazy to even think about night because I'm not even thinking that far. Um, but yeah, definitely got that under my bucket list. Finally, even in the Navy, I had never got around to do that, even though I wanted to. But overall, yeah. Sorry, everybody. I just wanted to let everybody know I'm back. I got another episode coming up. I just wanted to share everybody. Thank you for coming on. If you were there on Instagram, thank you for just logging in, just checking out my show. Just wanted to come up and bring up a few things. Still, I'm still busy with a lot of other things and a lot of other things going on. So if you can, just please bear with me. But if you can, please subscribe and please like one of my episodes or any of the episodes. If you don't like it, dislike it. At least I get something. Um, so yes, everybody, thank you for showing up. Thank you for tuning in. Until next time. Mm, mm, mm.